the 7 best microphones for recording acoustic guitar. Despite its beautiful simplicity, there's no doubt that the acoustic guitar is a challenging instrument to record. Mostly because capturing it in full detail requires some form of stereo recording. The problem is, to perform those techniques, you'll still need a good assortment of condenser microphones, which few home studios have, and unless you have lots of cash on hand, the only alternative is to find those rare studio gems that can deliver high-end sound for a low-end price. And so, to save you the research, for today's post I've assembled this list of. First up, building a shopping list. To record acoustic guitar using each of the common stereo techniques, a B, X, Y, blumline, etc. What you'll need at a minimum is 1. A cardioid pair of small diaphragm condensers. 2. An omni pair of small diaphragm condensers. 3. A multi-pattern large diaphragm condenser. So in the following list of 7, I show you several options for each one. Let's begin. 1. Shure SM81. As one of the most famous and widely used mics of its kind, the Shure SM81 has been an industry standard for decades, and has been used on countless hit albums for acoustic guitar, hi-hats, and many other instruments. One reason this Shure mic stands out so much is, despite its cardioid pattern, it shows an unusually uniform frequency response from the sides, meaning its off-axis coloration is minimal. For acoustic guitar especially, its 3-position bass roll-off offers a simple way to compensate for the natural proximity effect from close micking. For general stereo recording, the SM81 works as a pair for XY recording, a pair for ORT recording, the mid for mid-side recording. Overall, it's a great mic to have in your locker, whether you record acoustic guitar or not. If the SM81 is too expensive, here is a good alternative. 2. Yeti Perception 170. Normally, when you start looking at condenser mic, it's natural to be suspicious of quality, since most of them are crap. But there are exceptions, and the Yeti Perception 170 is a great example. And it quite possibly has more satisfied users than any other mic on this list. With its cardioid pattern, the Perception 170 works for the same tasks as the SM81, including XY recording as a pair, ORT recording as a pair, mid-side recording as a single. For home studios looking for the cheapest possible way to record stereo acoustic guitar, I highly recommend a pair of Perception 170 single S. Up next, 3. Shure KSM 141. Among the must-have tools for stereo recording. Few are as essential as the omnidirectional small diaphragm condenser. The problem is, most true omnis are high-end reference microphones, costing several grand apiece. In the lower price ranges, what you more often find is a hybrid mic that has 2 interchangeable omnicardioid capsules for a single body. But the common complaint with this design is, those capsules can be easily broken or misplaced. The Shure KSM 141 on the other hand, uses a much smarter design, that switches polar patterns with a simple rotating collar on the neck. For acoustic guitar recording, the KSM 141 works for mono recording omni single, a B recording omni pair, XY recording cardioid pair, ORT recording cardioid pair, mid-side recording cardioid mid. Next to the SM81, the KSM 141 is likely the second most reputable mic on this list. And for just a slightly higher price, you get 2 tools in one. Moving on for Rode NT2A. Now that we've covered the small diaphragm options, next let's look at the large ones. For acoustic guitar recording, a multi-pattern large diaphragm condenser is great because it works for so many jobs, including a B omni pair, XY cardioid pair, or ITF cardioid pair, mid for MS cardioid single, side for MS figure 8 single, Blumline figure 8 pair. And in our target price range for this category, no mic can compare to the Rode NT2A. Based of the original NT2, and multi-pattern brother of the famous NT1A, the NT2A is quite possibly the most versatile mic on this list. For a singer-songwriter, it's especially useful because it can easily double as a vocal mic as well. As a nice bonus, the NT2A offers an entire suite of accessories, including a shock mount, pop filter, mic cable, and bag. Up next 5. Studio Projects B3. While it may not be nearly as famous as the NT2A, the Studio Projects B3 has the edge in the one key department that so many of us care about: price. While it offers all the same standard features of the NT2A, it costs less than half as much. So if what you need is a reliable, yet super cheap option for a multi-pattern condenser mic, there's really no other mic that even comes close to the B3. Up next 6. Rode NT4. Oftentimes, beginners avoid the use of stereo recording because they fear the apparent hassles of setting up and positioning multiple mics. And while it's really not that hard, the unfamiliar territory still scares some people off. If you're one of those people, here is a mic I know you'll love. The Rode NT4. Known as a stereo microphone, the NT4 combines two mic capsules into a single body, making the entire task of stereo recording seem much less intimidating. It's such a great option for beginners, I snuck it on the list anyway. And since the NT4 is technically two mics in one, it's still cheaper than buying a matched pair in the same price range. Up next 7. Blue Microphones Yeti Pro. While USB mics might be ideal for a simple bedroom studios, they are not what most people would consider true studio microphones. In fact, since their invention, USB mics have mostly been dismissed as amateurish. But no more, because with the new Blue Microphones Yeti Prisp technology and Pro Studio quality have finally been combined into a single package, improving upon the original Yeti, which is phenomenally popular. Blue Microphones combined both a USB connection and a 5-pin stereo XLR balanced output into a single microphone. Using a one-of-a-kind tri-capsule design, the Yeti Pro offers 3 standard pickup patterns: cardioid, omni, figure 8. Plus, the coolest of all, a dual-channel setting which records in stereo, the same way you would with the Rode NT4. And while stereo microphones are often expensive, the Yeti Pro is one option that virtually any studio can afford.